Okay, with that finance bill. So you need to look at that. Honorable Kajwang.
Thank you, Professor. The NADCO report made mention of issues of boundaries. And Your Excellency, the Vice President, I'd like to report that the Senate has already processed the county boundaries bill. I was a sponsor of the bill, and the bill has now been transmitted to the National Assembly. And I'd like to request Honorable Wandai that when the bill comes before the National Assembly, it be given priority. This bill has flopped about 5 times from the 11th, 12th, and now the 13th Parliament. And I also request if you could appoint a co-sponsor, because we changed the standing orders. If there's a co-sponsor, a bill moves faster than just it being a Senate bill. And so I'll be consulting with you if you can get a co-sponsor for it. Because there's a mistaken view that this bill seeks to redefine the boundaries of counties. The boundaries of counties, unfortunately, in the current constitution, were not defined, but then the District and Provinces Act, which is drawn from the Independence Constitution. So the bill has not altered a single inch of a county boundary, and the bill also has not made those provisions that led to its rejection in the past, because I think in the past the National Assembly argued it was a money bill. But I believe that this being one of the things the NADCO process prioritized, we can get a bipartisan and a bicameral approach to it. Secondly, there is also the entrenchment of funds in the Constitution. And I think this is a bright idea because it ensures that legislators at the national level and at the county level are ring-fenced from the interference of the executive, particularly the Ward Development Fund. This has also flopped, I think, twice or thrice in the 11th and 12th Parliament. We need to find a way of making sure that this succeeds. Finally, on statutory instruments, there is debate going on even in the UK right now, where we draw our parliamentary practices, that Parliament has become lazy. And in many cases, we write laws and leave power to cabinet secretaries to come up with regulations. And then we do not go ahead to check those regulations coming from the executive. I wish we could align the amendments to the Statutory Instruments Act by amending Clause 12 and putting it in statute that the delegated legislation committees of Parliament shall be chaired by persons who are not in parties that form government. Because right now it is absurd that in the Senate the person who chairs the delegated legislation committee is a member of government. They are incapable and they do not have the spine to stand up to the executive. And a lot of delegated legislation takes effect due to lack of consideration. Because after 21 days, the regulations take effect. And so, Honorable Wandai and Honorable Madzayo, this is a debate which we either take to an amendment of the standing orders, but I know it will be difficult, or we put it in statute so that that committee, alongside the Public Accounts Committee, Public Investments Committee, and implementation committees, they cannot be chaired by the executive. They need to be chaired by persons from this side. Thank you.
The leadership has had you. They'll respond. Honorable Mulyungi.